In this video, you will learn what is Flexbox. Then I'll show you a game which you can play to get better at Flexbox. And then I'll show you your first assignment. So let's get started. Remember, I told you about a property called display, which had values like block or inline. Well, there was another property that I mentioned. It was flex. So what is flex? Well, flex is a flexible box. Uh, let's say this is a flex box. Now in block elements, the elements were filled like this, taking up full width. Inline, they were taking space that is needed by them. But in flex, uh, the items will start like this, but we can place them like this or like this, or we can place them in center or from start. There are so many options that are available in Flexbox, and there are many combinations that we can try and we will try. So let's get started and see it visually. So first I will create a div and give it a class and call it Flexbox. This will be our main container, and I'll go to style.css and select Flexbox and give it a background color of something nice, say this one, with 100% and height, let's say 300 or 350 pixels. And now I will go live. You can see our Flexbox div is here. Right now I haven't given it the Flexbox property, but I will give it. Now to display content inside it, I will create three divs. Let's give it a class of box1, and the text inside would say box1. Let's create two more, and here I will show you one new way to select a class inside another class. So first we'll select the parent class. Here it is Flexbox, and then we'll select the child class, which is box1, and let's give it a background color of red. We can also select the classes directly like I've shown you before. So box2, it will work the same, and for box3 I will give it color green. If I hit save and go back, I can see our boxes, they are taking full width because right now the display is block. So let's change it to display flex. Now they are only taking the space that is needed width, but height wise they are taking full width. If it was inline, they would have taken only the space that was needed. uh, this is looking bad, so let's add width and height to our boxes. Let's copy them and paste them here and here. Let's hit save. Now you can see our boxes are looking better. Now let me tell you about some properties. So the first property that we will see is flex direction. There can be multiple direction, row, which is the default. Then we have column, which will arrange from top to bottom. Then we have row reverse and column reverse. Let's see them in action. then you will understand them. So let's go here and select flex direction. Now row is the default one, but I will still show you. I selected row and went back, nothing changed. Now I'll select column, hit save, go back. Now we have the items stacked on top of each other, 1, 2, and 3. Now let's change it to column reverse. If I hit save, the items are in column, but now the box 1 is at the bottom, and then they're stacked together in a reverse order. And if I change it to row reverse, the items will start from end, and the order will also be changed. So this was about the flex direction property. Now the second property I will show you about is justify content. If you want to see detailed docs, you can go to this site. I refer to it whenever I'm confused. So justify content. Justify content is there to tell how the items are going to be displayed across x-axis. It will be clear after the example, but let's see the values. It can be start, center, end, space between, and space around. Start, in start, the items will be placed at start. In center, the items will be placed at center. And you can guess it, yeah, they will be placed at the end. Now space between. Space between will start item here, and then it will divide space evenly between the elements. And space around is similar, but it will start from somewhere around here. Space here will be equal, and this space will also be equal to half of this space. Okay, it will be clear with a visual example. And there's another one I forgot. It is space evenly. In that case, the space here, 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 all will be the same. So let's see. Let's change the direction back to the default one, and let's start with justify content at start. Let's hit save, go back. The items now are at the start, and let's select end. The items are now at the end, but unlike the row reverse, the order is still the same. Now let's select center, set save. The items are now at center. Now the fun ones, space between. The items start at the start, ends at the end, and there's a even space, the equal space between the items. Space around, uh, equal space here, and half of that space here and here, and space evenly. All the spaces are same. So this was justify content. We can also change the display to flex for the inner boxes. And apply justify content to center and hit save. Our text is now at the center. Now there's another property which is you can say justify content, but for vertical alignment. It is called align items. It also have many values. The ones we will use the most are start, center, and end. So let's see it in action. Let's change it to normal. So we will write nothing here. Now to align items, we can them at center. Now vertically they are at the center. We can align them at end. Vertically they are at the end, and we can align them at the start. And if we pair it with justify content, we will get many different combination. Let's say center, the items are at center bottom. If we hit center center, then the items are at central. And what if we try space between and space evenly here? Well, it does not work because align items do not have properties like this. So let's change it back to center. And we can also apply this property to our inner boxes. And now the text is at the center for all of them. So this was justify content and align items. Now another property is say flex, grow, shrink, and basis. Honestly, I don't even use these two, and I just use grow. So there's a shorthand for that, and if you just write flex and a number next to it, then it will take the remaining space. You will understand it. Let's say there are we have three boxes. Right now they are all divided equally in size, and if we change its flex grow property to 1, then it will take both of them will take the space that is needed by them, but the flex with grow property 1 will take the whole remaining space. Now if we set all of them to 1, the space will be divided equally. If we change it to 2 1 1, then this will take half of the space, and the other half will be occupied by the other two. This is how it is. Let me show you. uh, let's change its flex to 1. Hit save, go back. Now it is taking the whole space, and they are taking only the space that is needed by them. If I change it to 2 and flex change its flex grow to 1, and it's to 1 as well. Now they're taking half the space, and box 1 is taking half. This is the ratio. I can change it to 5, save. Now it is taking total is 5 1 1, so the total is 7, and this is taking 5 by 7 of space. This is taking 1 by 7, and this is also taking 1 by 7. This is how this property is, and I don't use the other two. And if you want to learn it, you can learn it from here, but I don't think it will be useful uh, for now. Now what's left? Okay, so one more thing. uh, if we change the flex direction to column, then justify content turns into align items, and align items turn to justify content. For column and column reverse, they turn it like this. So just keep that in mind if you are working and justify content is not working as expected. Look at the direction. If it's column, then you have to use align items. We have a property called flex wrap. Let's say if we have outer box like this, and inside we have items with fixed width, so they will go out of bounds. So if we set flex wrap to wrap, then the item will move here. Uh, and the other option is no wrap. Let's see them in action. Let's delete this property first. Now flex wrap. I will set it to wrap, and let's say its width is 500 pixels. 500 pixels and 500 pixels. Let's hit save. Uh, Now they are taking 500 pixels each. Let's try 600. See, there's a wrap now. The next item, instead of going outside here, it came to the bottom. And if we set it to wrap reverse, the new item will go on top, the item at the end. And if we set it to no wrap, then the items will be like this. Even if I change it to 800 pixels, it will grow, but other two items will shrink. That's how it is. To make it more dramatic, let's change it to 1200 pixels. See, because there is no wrap. But if there was a wrap, the item would wrap around and start in a new line, and the next item will also start in a new line if there is not enough space for all of the boxes to fit. And let's change it back to normal. What was the width? 100 pixels, right? 100 and 100. Now there's a no gap between them. What we can do is, write gap and 10 pixels here, and it will introduce a gap between them. Do not confuse it with margin. It's just a property that's for grid and flex. Grid is another display type that is also as good as flex, but we do not need it right now. These were the properties of flex that we will use. In the next part of this video, we will play the game for flex, and after that I will show you the assignment. The video was turning out to be too long, so I divided in two parts, and there are some more properties for flex, but we do not need to learn them right now. And if you feel like you want to learn it right now, you can go to Google or you can use ChatGPT. And for the game, there are some levels which will require properties that we do not know. We will just skip them because in real life projects I have never used those properties. So see you in the next part.